Welcome back into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast, simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel with our closer, next handicapper up, Minty Bets. Minty, welcome into the pod. How are you?
I'm doing well, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to have you back on, and interested to get your opinion here, Minty. So hopefully you enjoyed Thanksgiving break, and you're ready to rock now in the handicapping world.
I'm ready. Let's get started, Drew.
All right, we got guys in this section, 355, 356, Seattle, Washington, down through the rest of the card. Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. If you're looking for part one of the Every Game NFL, Every Game on the Board podcast, section one we just did with Ski Profit. You can check it out on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. But we got Seattle, Washington to start off here. Minty, it looks like the Seattle Seahawks -5, -5.5, 44.5 being the total. I did ask Ski Profit this at the end of the last section, Minty, but it was actually my fault as the host because we were supposed to start this section off with you. Put Ski on the spot. He did a great job, but we can compare his analysis with yours.
Okay, I need to hear what he has to say after this. But this Washington team doesn't look too bad. They won and covered their last four, and in their last three losses, they only lost by 3 points or less. This Washington pass rush is the real deal. Chase Young looks great. I think he's been a key playmaker for this team. They're also third in passing yards allowed and fourth in sacks. Seattle relies heavily on the pass game, which we know. Normally, as a Russell Wilson super fan, I would be all over the Seahawks in this number, but I think I have to go with the Washington football team here. I know Seattle is going to have to play hard, but they're 3-6 against the spread their last 9 this season. I'm also leaning the under too. Washington doesn't score a ton of points on offense, and the Seahawks have been averaging like 16 points per game their last 5. So Washington and the under is what I'm feeling for this one.
All right, Minty, I like it. I'm liking Washington as well. I think the defensive front kind of holds Russell Wilson, maybe doesn't stop him, but contain him. That's, anytime you're going against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, always like to have a good defensive line, and Washington has that. So I'm going with the football team with you, Minty, as we head down the line here, 357, 358. Next game up, Chicago at Minnesota, 47 being the total here, Minty. Looks like -3 in the hook, -3.5 points. That's the Vikings hosting the Bears.
I do not like betting on the NFC North. I try to stay away from this division. I honestly, to be honest, I always lose whenever I bet in this division. So I'm not taking a side here. I'll look to the total. The Vikings are 6-1 over under their last 7 at home. I think this Minnesota offense looks fierce with Kirk Cousins working alongside with Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and rookie Justin Jefferson. Their defense, however, has given up 27 points per game their last 4, and the Bears offense is stepping it up with Mitch as quarterback. David Montgomery and Allen Robinson are making some splashes. I like that. Even though the under was the play for their last matchup this season, I actually like the over in this game.
All right, looking towards the over in the NFC North matchup. We got Jacksonville and Baltimore up next, Minty. Looks like the Ravens -13 at home at most shops right now, 47.5 being the total.
The Jags really have nothing to play for, but the Ravens didn't look too hot last week against the Browns, or I guess Monday night. They have a tendency to be really sloppy. The Jags have lost 5 of their last 7 losses by 10 or less points. The Ravens aren't looking to blow out Jacksonville. They just want to look better than they did last week and put another W on the board. I would take Jacksonville by 2 touchdowns. If it gets up to 14, I might think about it.
All right, looking towards the underdog there, catching almost 2 touchdowns, talking about the Jaguars. Haven't been a terrible bet this season. Minty, talking about the Ravens on Monday night. Man, what a swing there. What'd you think of that bad beat or great beat?
I am so glad I didn't bet that game. I would have had a heart attack and a stroke all at once. The crazy. I would have definitely bet the Ravens though, but that must hurt. And I want to get your opinion, Drew, actually really quick. I know a certain sportsbook, which I will not name, refunded the people who had bet the Browns before the game started. What do you think about refunding bad beats? Are you for it or against it?
Sure. I don't know why people would be against it. My thought is it's just marketing. I wouldn't even be surprised if that comes out of the marketing budget, paying those bets off, and then you just tweet about it. You get it out there. You get people to retweet it, and people are happy with you. But I mean, I guess the picking and choosing of when you're going to refund it, I guess that could be kind of frowned upon, because if a bunch of your buddies or something and you're in charge of the refund and they're the ones that got beat by it, and sure enough, they had big bets on it, I guess that could be like murky water. But overall, I mean, people out there as sports bettors, if you're new to being sports betting, you got to look at that as just, it's a marketing decision, a business decision.
Totally. But I think that like also it kind of takes away from like the gambling aspect of it. I mean, you lost and you should lose sort of thing. And if you win, you win. I don't know. Great marketing for sure. But in terms of like gambling, I don't super agree with it. So just want to get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because it got a lot of like mainstream looks and headlines, but like that's been going off in the offshore world, Minty, like, back before it was like fully legal with PASFA turning over. It was almost even more prevalent back then.
Really?
Yeah. And they keep like, the bet onlines of the world, they would just put it out there and then just market the heck out of it. And it was almost like they would do that even more than they do it now. So I've kind of seen it a lot, but no, I don't really have anything against it, Minty.
Huh. Okay. Interesting to know. And I guess Davy Jones, I don't know if I've ever watched whatever that show is on HBO Max. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was going to ask you that, but not an HBO Max fan. What about Netflix, Amazon? What's your go-to?
I like reality shows. So stuff like The Bachelorette, 90 Day Fiance, Love is Blind, anything reality, like dating shows is up my alley. I don't really like dramas or anything that's like over an hour long that isn't like a comedy or a reality show, I guess.
Okay. So we got a Bachelorette fan here. And Minty, do you ever bet it?
No, you can bet it.
I think you
I
can.
might have dumb, but oh no, but I would love to join like a fantasy bachelorette league.
That would be cool. What do you think about the current Bachelorette? I really haven't watched it, season in, season out, or I guess episode in, episode out. But what do you think about this one? Do you like her?
I love her. She's so bubbly and beautiful and bright and just like so genuinely sweet. And The Bachelor, for next season, I actually know in person, he's a good friend of mine, Matt James. He's also a very, very genuine guy. So I am very excited for his season in January.
You know him personally? He's from here in Las Vegas or something?
Yeah. I met him when he was in Vegas and I was working at the casino that he was like at and partying with his friends. But yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. And yeah, super, super nice guy. He has never been in love before is what he said. So it'll be interesting to see that season.
Interesting. I always wonder if The Bachelorette is as real as they make it look, or is it kind of fake behind the scenes? Do you have any thoughts on that?
You know what? I've seen a lot of, I've read a lot of like, I guess behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of things are surprising. Like, how like the women and men, they have like the suits and the pretty dresses and gowns and stuff, and they have to get dressed up for every like occasion and date. You're only allowed to bring 2 suitcases, and you literally have to bring like 15 outfit changes. Like they tell you have to bring 15 completely different outfits. You can't wear stripes, you can't wear polka dots, you can't wear certain patterns like cheetah print and stuff like that. So it's very strict what they make you do back behind the scenes there. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Minty Betts, the Bachelorette expert here, and I do think you can bet on some of that in the offshore world, but. Hey guys, follow her on Twitter at Minty Betts if you're looking for a little Bachelorette betting advice. So we got Cleveland at the New York Giants up next. Minty looks like -4 to -5 point favorites. Talking about the Browns off of that terrible bad beat loss. 45.5 being the total. This one in MetLife Stadium in New York.
I thought the Browns would never have their year, but here they are looking great this season. I lead Cleveland to cover. I mean, it was at 3.5 yesterday, so I might have liked that number better, but I can't trust them. Even though the Giants offense has been awful, I don't think they can score a ton of points. New York's defense has only allowed 20 or less points in 4 of their last 5 games. I might also lean the under in this, but it's just kind of tricky here. I think I like the under better than Cleveland to cover.
All right, maybe looking towards the under in that one. Talk about another good defensive front up against Baker Mayfield. That's kind of a look that I looked to bet on. But Baker actually didn't play that bad against the Ravens, so it didn't necessarily work out, even though the Ravens bet did cash in great fashion there. We got Philadelphia at Arizona up next, 4:05 Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific kick here, Minty. Looks like 49 being the total, with the Cardinals laying anywhere from 6 to 7 in the desert.
Although against the Saints, he only completed like 56% of his passes and recorded a passing touchdown. And I think like over 100 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts has revived Philly. I originally didn't have an opinion for this game, but after doing a video with Rob Zeno yesterday, I actually really like the over. The Eagles have quite a few injuries on their O-line and secondary. The Cards have recorded totals of over 60 combined points in their last 4 home games. So I'm really into the over at 49.5. I got it at 49 yesterday. So over 49 is one of my best bets for this game, or for this week.
All right, over in the Philadelphia, Arizona game. And it looks like 49. Yes, it is out there and available as the low watermark number for the total. So might be Minty Bet's best bet, but we will get that on record at the end of the show. We got Kansas City versus your New Orleans Saints. Minty, looks like the Chiefs minus 3-point road favorites, 51.5 being the total in the Big Easy.
Interesting that the Chiefs are 0-5 against the spread and the Saints are 5-1 against the spread. I don't really trust the Saints here. We don't quite know who's starting, and I think Drew is good to go in practice, but who knows if he's playing. I don't trust Taysom. I don't trust Jameis. Excuse me, I burped. I feel like 3 is a really short line, but probably because the Chiefs haven't been covering. I think this game they will cover, though. I'll be extremely interested to see how this matchup goes, but I really don't have an opinion for this game. Of course, I want the Saints to win, but I think the Chiefs have a better shot here.
All right, Minty, 2 games left. Check out Minty on Twitter at Minty Bets. No earthquake here in Vegas. It's, and Minty, what about what else do you got going on? You got Yahoo going on, BetMGM, a lot going on, guys. If you're not following her on Twitter at Minty Bets, you should.
Guys, yeah, I'm still with Yahoo Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter at Yahoo Sportsbook. Also, I just joined the BetSperts app. I actually had it last year, but I have my MLB record from 2 seasons ago on there. Did really well, and now I'm tracking my football, college football, and college basketball, maybe my NHL as well on there. It's not looking so good right now because I've had a really bad week, but hey, it's transparent. If I do badly, it's right there on the app. So check it out on BetSperts at Minty Bets.
At Minty Bets on BetSperts. Check her out on Twitter at Minty Bets as well. So bounce back mode here. Hopefully starting off this week in the NFL for Minty. We got San Francisco at Dallas here. Last game for the Sunday card. Then we'll hit the Monday nighter. -3. That's the 49ers road favorites. 45 the total in Jerry's world.
I don't have much to say about this one. These are 2 teams I will never bet on because I've lost money on them all season. I lean the Niners, though, because they're not the Cowboys. The Cowboys have had some problems defensively, and the Niners can surprise us offensively. Nick Mullins isn't as terrible as I thought, and this entire team isn't injured anymore. So my pick would be the Niners laying the 3.
All right, like in the Niners in that one. And we got the Monday nighter here, Minty, to finish it off. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Steelers -12 to -13-point road favorites. 40.5 being the total.
Yeah, this is the kind of total we would see during a regular season for a Steelers game. Although I will always bet the under when the Steelers are on the road, this might just be way too low for my liking. I also can't bet either side. I don't think the Steelers do a great job at covering a large spread like this. So I lean the under. The Bengals have scored only 7 points, 7, 17, and 9 and 10 points in their last 5 games. So very low scoring, and I think the Steelers can hold it down against the Bengals.
All right, good stuff as always from Minty Bets, the closer on the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast. Guys, if you want to see part 1, check it out on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. It's the video right before this with Ski Profit. We've just broke down all of the NFL games for this weekend, including the Thursday nighter and Monday nighter, and also the college football Every Game on the Board podcast with 3 different handicappers breaking down championship Saturday and the Friday night games in college football. That's all available on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Guys, if you're liking the content, please smash the like button. If you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a comment below. Let us know what you're betting and why in the chat box. On Periscope works as well. But Minty, do you want to leave us with a most confident play for the podcast?
My favorite bet on the board is going to be, well, it wasn't one that we covered, but I like the Houston Texans Colts over 52.5. I know that's kind of high, but Colts have been doing really well at home. The Texans have been doing awfully defensively, allowing like 28 or more points from their opponents on the road. So I really like the over here. And also the Colts are 5-1 to the over against their AFC opponents as well.
Okay, so the over trend there in division, that's always a good trend to have there. Thanks, Minty, for the time. Good stuff as always. Great analysis. Minty, anything else you wanted to throw out there before we shut this down?
No, thanks for joining us, guys. Hi, Clint and Chris and Davey. Thanks for joining us, and see you guys next week, I think.
All right. See you guys next week. Minty will be back on Wednesday. And yeah, that does it for the Every Game on the Board podcast, both in college football and the NFL. So thanks for joining us, guys. And best of luck with your bets. Have a fun, safe weekend. And we'll talk on Monday for the NFL